Welcome, fellow travelers. It's Mickey Gold. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to do a healing session and a meditation. And I'm going to talk a little first. So it's okay if you want to do either healing with me or if you want to meditate, whatever you feel called to do today. Today is Earth Day. And it's important because our Earth is our mother, Earth is our home. Right now, we only have one place we can live. And some of us need healing, and the planet definitely could use some healing too. So I'm going to do a little meditation / healing work, and I have some music in the background. It kind of has the Native American feel, it has some thunder crashing and different things. So I thought, what better to heal the earth than with music that comes from people who revere the earth. What better than the natives to have represented our planet, represented healing. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to light a candle, and you can't see it. I had a really hard time figuring out. I like to use regular matches. So I'm going to light a candle. Just a big old pillar candle. And I love the smell of a burnt out match. And then I also have some mugwort. Sage is something that's really great if you're doing healing work to clear the air. I have issues with sage, sinus-wise and allergy-wise, so I use mugwort. It affects me less for some reason. It also, mugwort has the effect of giving you a little bit of a kind of almost a sleepy feeling, a trance-like state, so which I find to be really great for healing. So I'm going to have that going right underneath the eyes. So if you see smoke, don't be alarmed. I also have blue kyanite, which blue kyanite is a crystal that helps connect to higher source, to spirit, to the earth, to whatever you're trying to connect with. And I love this piece. I got this in Eugene, Oregon, at a beautiful crystal shop there, and I really like it. I also have a piece of selenite, and selenite is a crystal. It's actually made of silica that is meant for clearing. And I am using also my big grand crystal. This crystal sits at my grid. So where if I do healing work for people, sometimes I'll put them on my grid, and I have crystals and all sorts of things, and this goes there. So when I do work, I take it off my grid and I include it in my work. I don't have a globe. Otherwise, I would have something representing the globe. So the closest I have is a little crystal ball. So when you do Reiki healing, a lot of times you can either pretend you're holding a person, have a picture of a person. Some people use teddy bears for healing work, different things to represent people. So I'm going to be using the crystal ball to heal as a representation of the earth and as a representation of us. As well, I have little Merkabas, which are little, they're like if you had a pyramid standing upright and a pyramid going down and you lock them in together, that's what they are. And I have one representing each chakra that I'm going to be using when I work on our chakras. So I am going to just take a moment. I want you can just breathe if you'd like. You can sit and take in the healing. Now, we are not separate from our planet. We are not separate from the earth. I'm going to move this so we're not just seeing all smoke. We're not separate from the planet. We're not separate from the earth. So when we heal ourselves, we help heal the planet. When we heal the planet, we help heal ourselves. We are interdependent. And just like that, we are interdependent on one another. So it's really important when we see things to have them be part of us. Remember that when we see people are hurting, acting out, it's out of pain, out of suffering. And when we can find somewhere inside of us that is in pain and is suffering, we can heal ourselves as we send healing and love to other people. Now, when I do any type of ceremony or healing work, I like to put something on. Sometimes it's jewelry, sometimes I wear bracelets, sometimes I wear specific necklaces. Today I have a labradorite on, and I also have a silk little jacket on, which silk has a lot of amazing properties to it. So I just thought instead of wearing an elaborate necklace, I would wear silk today. And it's raining here, but it's kind of chilly, but not cold enough to really have my hoodie on indoors. So this is what I'm wearing today. And when you do your work, or when you do healing, or you get a healing, it's nice to either wear a piece of jewelry or wear a little something, whether it be a shawl or a wrap or something that you bring with you to help with the energy, and to have little things around you to represent things, to kind of bring it to you, bring it to life, bring it to feeling. So if you want to pause the video for a minute and kind of grab something, you can grab a candle, you can smudge with sage, you can burn with bay leaves, you can grab a couple of crystals that are your favorite, you can put on a little sweater, you can something that you like, and come on back. And when you're ready, I'm going to start with ringing a little bell. So I have some Native American music and I have a little Tibetan bell. So sound is something that, besides burning sage or having something like selenite, sound is something that can clear the air, clear the energy. So you can ring a bell, you can tone, doing things like toning Om or seed mantras can help you bring you into this place. So right now, I want you to get comfortable. You can be sitting, you can be watching the video, you can be lying down, whatever suits you, whatever calls to you. I'm doing this just straight off whatever comes. I just felt called to do this way, and this is not generally how I do things. So normally meditations are separate and talks are separate. However, today I feel called to do a healing and a meditation with everybody that wants to show up. And as we know from the Pilates videos, that time is not important. You can be watching this a week from now, 2 weeks from now, and it's also the new moon today. So you can be watching this later today when it's up. You can be watching it next week. You can watch it whenever, and you can bring yourself to this moment. You can bring yourself into a place where you are in the room with me. You are in the room with anybody else who ever watches this, that we can send our energy forward, backwards in time. It doesn't matter. So what I'd like to do is, again, I want you to just, wherever you are, just take a breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just breathing, relaxing. And as you breathe, not forcing, not pushing, not straining, as you breathe, I would like you to just take a little quick scan of your body. Noticing where you might feel any tension or stress. And if you can move yourself into a different position where you feel more comfortable, that would be helpful. Otherwise, breathe into it. On the exhale, if there's any place feeling stress or tension, just let that go. Now, as you just scan your body, I want you to imagine dropping either roots down from the bottom of your feet or tubes down from the bottom of your feet. And I want you to imagine these roots or tubes connecting to the core crystal of the earth. And I want you to just imagine hitting the center, the core crystal of the earth. And we can release anything down through these tubes. And the great thing about the earth is that the earth can take whatever we give it, whatever negativity we give it, and transform it. Look at, you put something in the earth and it turns to something that will help nurture plants. Stuff that we discard that helps nurture plants, and thereby nurturing animals and nurturing us, or nurturing us directly. So just imagine letting that go. If you'd like, you can imagine whatever you might need in your body being pulled back up through those roots or tubes. It can be sent one way down and the other way coming up. Getting from the earth what you need, those nutrients, those vital things. Good. And then I want you to come to the crown of your head. And I want you to imagine the crown of your head opening up, that chakra, and just accepting this beautiful, either golden, white, whatever is the most spectacular color that you can think of, crystal, diamond, white light, whatever it is that works for you, coming down and cleansing you and healing you. Some of you that believe in codes and upgrades, you can imagine codes and upgrades being sent to you. Good. And as we do that, it's helping send those, grounding those to the earth as they move through us. Whatever we don't need, we can ground down to the earth. Good. And just keep breathing. Just relax. So I'm going to go ahead and just for a moment, I'm going to do a few Reiki signs and start the healing process. So we're breathing. Right now we're going to start working on the earth. And again, you can be working on you as well as the earth. And again, you can send this energy back in time, forward in time. Again, you can imagine we are all in the room together. You can at this moment invite anyone else into this room. You can imagine we're all surrounded by a fire. You can imagine we're in a gigantic crystal cave or a pyramid, whatever feels most healing to you. Now I'm going to go ahead and pick up my crystal ball. And I'm going to place one hand under, one hand on over. And I'm going to be sending love and healing. First, I'm going to be sending love to the air, purifying our air. Imagine the beautiful birds. Imagine butterflies, bees, all the creatures of the air being healed. Imagine the skies are beautiful blue, crystal clear. Imagine as you exhale, all the smog, all the dirt, all the pollution wreaking havoc in our air, just disappearing. It can be, again, sent to the past. It can be sent to the present. It can be sent to the future. It doesn't matter. And then I want you to imagine the element of fire. The warming, the heating. Now, our center of our earth is made out of magma. There's a fire. Fire has a very prominent place when used properly. It's a cleansing. Imagine cleaning that center, that middle of us, the things that we need to let go, those things that we drop down through our tubes. Imagine those burning away and purifying. Then I want you to imagine water, the oceans, the streams, the lakes, the rivers feeding into the oceans, all in balance. The ocean needs a certain amount of salt. Everything in perfect harmony, supporting all life in the seas. Without the seas, without the water, we wouldn't survive very long. Imagine purifying all water and ourselves. We're a good portion made up of water. Imagine the water being purified in our bodies. Good. And then the earth. When we pass, we will all return to the earth. We came from the earth. Imagine lush green, all the beautiful vegetation, especially in the areas on our earth like the Amazon in Australia, in California, places that have been devastated by fire, places that have been devastated by drought. Imagine them green, lush, and thriving. And imagine the perfect balance of all elements. Not only for the earth, but for ourselves. And there's one more element that's called ether. And this is like when you hear the term etheric body, the place where our chakras are located. This is more of an esoteric thing. This would be the earth's spirit, our soul. Just imagine that healing. What we send out when we don't show love and appreciation and we just take from the earth, that does something to our souls. That does something to the souls of the animals. That does something to the souls of the water and the planet. Our mindless consumption. Good. Breathing nice and deep. Seeing imagine pulling back high above the atmosphere and seeing our beautiful planet, blue and green, in perfect balance. Clear, beautiful. Let your mind wander to the most beautiful places on the earth you can imagine. The forests, the jungles, whatever calls to you. Give thanks, give gratitude, give love. Think about the animals. Send out your love, thanks, and gratitude. Making a promise within ourselves that we, from this day forward, will honor what we consume. Whether we're vegan, taking from the plants, or whether we're carnivores, eating meat. When we put something on our plate, giving thanks, honoring its sacrifice, and not just taking without honoring, that we will mindfully consume. That we, from this day forward, will mindfully consume not just with our food, but with the products that we own. That we look for things that recycle, that are ecologically friendly, or that have a really long life. It's time to have things being less throwaway. That being mindful that when we buy a cell phone, that maybe we need to go a little longer than 2 years. That we try to buy from people and companies that produce things ecologically safe. That they follow not just what the governments put down about their pollution, but from their own heart, that they look at the lowest carbon footprint they can find. Good. Because when we have a healthy planet, it's much easier to have healthy bodies. For when our lands are not taken care of, when our waters are filthy, when the sky, when we can't breathe, when our ethers are clogged from negativity, we can no longer grow and prosper and thrive. When the land isn't healthy, we cannot produce good food. When the water is clean, we can't digest good food. We can't take in the nutrients, even if we had good nutrients. If we can't breathe, our bodies, our cells can't assimilate. We need to live in balance and harmony. And again, not just with the planet, not with nature, not just with ecology, but also with one another. Remembering that when we see our fellow human beings acting in a way that we don't agree with, that we remember that they're a part of us. And remember, at very least, that if you believed what they believed, you may act the same way as well. To find love and compassion when you see people acting out. Remembering that hurt people hurt people. And when we see these things in the world, even if we're acting from our highest all the time, recycling, being ecologically minded, being loving, being kind, if we see these things, they're ours to heal as well. Going deep every day, meditating, when we see something that makes our hearts less than happy, going inside and finding that within ourselves and healing that. All right, my fellow travelers, I'm going to pick up the red Merkaba, which represents our root chakra, sending this love and healing, balancing us, balancing our root chakras. Feel that beautiful red chakra spinning. Next, I'll be picking up the orange Merkaba, which represents our sacral chakra. Now, our root chakra provides our basics, our needs, our survival. Our orange chakra, that's where our creativity comes from, our sexuality, creation, whether it be creating another human being, creating a work of art. This is where it comes from, this area, this beautiful orange. Imagine it spinning, imagine it vibrant in you. Now I'm picking up the yellow Merkaba, our solar plexus, our seat of emotion. This is where we digest our emotions. Ever notice when we feel emotionally upset or excited that our digestive system might go a little off? Or do you ever feel butterflies or your gut doesn't feel right? This is also our intuition. Find that healing, and it's syncing up with the root chakra, the sacral chakra. The root chakra is spinning the slowest because it's most dense. The sacral chakra is a little faster. And the solar plexus chakra is a little faster than that. These are our lower chakras. These have to do with our earthly life. And we just did some healing with the earth. So find that connection. Next, we're moving on to the green Merkaba. And this is representing our heart chakra. Now, when we think about heart, of course we think of emotions, we think of love, but this is more of unconditional love, compassion, whereas the orange and the yellow represent more of the passion, the sexual, the conditional love, the conditional feelings that change due to circumstances. This green is compassion. This green is the love of a mother, the love of the earth. The earth is green and blue. Next, we move up to the throat, this blue Merkaba. Now, the throat is where we express the things lower. Now, we want to balance the throat and the heart center, because we want to speak our truth, but we must always ask ourselves when we speak our truth, is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And if it doesn't tick all those boxes, maybe we're better off writing them in a journal and expressing them different ways, not to other people. Because even expressing unkindness to people that you might get together in a group with that have the same feelings as you do, that's never helpful. It's not helpful to you either. Now, with all our chakras, there are two different tendencies for them to be overactive or underactive. And then, of course, there's the perfect balance. So when we have an overactive throat, we might be a little too expressive when we don't tick the boxes first, when we gossip, when we commiserate with others. We don't want to do that. That's not how we use our voice. Of course, we can speak up when injustice is occurring, but we do this to be kind and loving. Now, this is indigo. This Merkaba is our third eye. And I did mention intuition with the solar plexus, but this is intuition that's untainted by our emotional state. This is connected, it's right underneath that crown chakra, our connection to source or God or higher self. This is connected to the highest intuition. Something that really helps us see not just what our regular senses, not what our five senses, but really see our sixth sense. Helps us see beyond and see the hidden. Things like sacred geometry, things like symbols, things that help us uncover the truth, the real truth, the real wisdom in books we might have read. Now, lastly, this Merkaba is purple or violet, and it represents the crown chakra. And this is the one I always ask you to open. And this is where we get our connection to the stars, to the heavens, to God, to higher self. Now, this one resonates and spins so fast and in such a way that you would never know what it would spin like. It almost isn't there, where some of the other chakras are more dense. Good. Just feel these aligning. Feel yourself energized. All these chakras are also connected to organs. So if there's a chakra that runs in an area that you might be having physical issues with, for instance, if your sinuses are bothering you, that could be something to do with your throat chakra, or it could be something to do with your third eye chakra or your crown chakra. And the same with, for instance, digestive issues. That could be your solar plexus. It could even be your sacral. Having problems with anemia, that could be your root chakra. So breathe. Imagine these luminous discs, these luminous balls, these luminous Merkabas, whatever you'd like to see them as. Imagine them glowing, shining, and I want you to imagine sending this out to everyone and everything on the planet. Sending it to the earth. Seeing yourself balanced and seeing the earth balanced. Seeing yourself surrounded by a tribe, your tribe, of the earth's every person. Seeing everyone and everything for us. Because what we believe, whether it be true or not to other people, will be true for us. We are all connected. We are all one. And this is how we will heal. Together, hand in hand. Good. Now, if you haven't closed your eyes already, please go ahead and close them now. Just let yourself relax. Just let yourself breathe. Feeling yourself in balance, feeling your breath flow through you. Breathing it all in, sending your prayers, sending your love, sending your energy to the earth. Breathing it all in. Good. Now, once again, bring your attention back to your body. Letting yourself feel the earth supporting you. Good. Feeling the sky above you. Feeling the sunshine. Good. Feeling a gentle breeze. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes, open your eyes, and just stretch and move. Thank you guys all for joining me today. I hope you have a lovely Earth Day. May you be warm. May you be blessed. May you be healthy. May you be loved. Peace, love, namaste. Thank you.